Looking back on 2013, well, there was a ton of firsts.
We released a live record in 2013, which was pretty awesome. I think there was so much anticipation and excitement that anytime you're in those situations, stress seems to be heightened, and there's always anxiety that surrounds it, and there's just moments of weakness and struggle. And so I think we kind of hit the first bump in the road as a team since we started this thing 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think there was so much beauty in that because we were kind of navigating that together as it came.
We had this beautiful gift in our hands. It was kind of one of those things that it had to have some amount of tension with it.
Absolutely.
Like it was like a birth. People talking about sitting in their living rooms and worshiping together. We never knew that it would do what it's done. So
yeah.
we absolutely love it.
We spent a lot of time on the road last year introducing some of the new songs. It's been really beautiful, but I think we also recognize that some of the older songs they're still taking root, and people are still just beginning to connect with maybe some of the places we've lived in for a while now.
Yeah.
And then seeing all this healing happen and getting to talk to these people who've been affected by Reason to Sing and Brokenness Aside and Call Me Higher and Greater Ye Lord. You know, they're just speaking out these songs and telling us, oh, this got me through. You know, it's like these crazy stories that people start telling you of these experiences that they've had with your music. And so it shapes kind of how you see what you're heading into next.
And I could hold on to
We took a couple months and we set them aside in between touring to really start writing for this record. It was hard getting back in the swing of it because we were so into touring mode, which was very different for us because we hadn't done a lot of that. So to be able to come into it this time, and it was a different headspace.
Through May, we wrote with Derek Webb and Sandra McCracken and Christine Knuckles, Matt Marr and Paul Balash, and Jason Ingram and Stu G, and got to sit down and write with Paul. And we just started watching this thing take shape and didn't really realize that we had the songs until it was time.
Yeah.
We thought we just had an EP. We thought we were going to do another EP.
I didn't think we were going to.
Well, that's the thing. Is like Paul started listening to these songs and he's like, there's a full record here.
Yeah, there is.
That's the beauty of working with a producer that knows you and cares for you and hears the music beyond what you hear. Because we lived with the songs for months and Paul was hearing them with fresh ears and a new perspective. And so we went into a brand new studio, the Sound Emporium, which we had never been to before. I'd never been to before. And even from the downbeat, when the guys showed up, it was just like, oh gosh, this is gonna be great and a lot of fun. And so we had the same team, Gabe and Chad and Stu and Tony and
Chris Donegan. Chris Donegan came in with his really nice guitars. And
I think for me, what's most exciting about this album is just the opportunity to take the chances that we did take. We would listen down to the song and we'd walk in the tracking room, and just this stuff would unfold, and it was just unbelievable. Yeah,
you can't fast track history, you know, and we've been at this since late 2009, 2010, and that, you know, we've got some years invested in each other primarily, and things have got to a place now where there's this trust. It's a very rewarding season that we're in.
I think the way that I've been able to balance coming home from being on the road or even being in the studios is trying to just completely shut everything down for the night. Me and my wife have a 2-year-old little girl, and once you start having kids, perspectives start to shift. Everything kind of just drifts away, and you fall into this world of family.
I had the opportunity this year. My husband Thomas is traveling with us. We knew we needed help on the road, and so it was one of those conversations we had where it was like, I would love for him to be a part of what we do on the road, and So he's been traveling with us since last May, and it's been great for me to have that balance on the road. I think we tour strategically, knowing we're gonna spend a lot of time on the road, and then we're gonna spend a lot of time at home. We want it to feel normal to be home and to see your kids and to get into the rhythm of being part of a church family again and relationships. So it's been a challenging thing, but I think it's been really great. So a little bit about the art direction is we decided to go with a painter, a friend of mine, Deanne Reeves, and she was actually a partner at Journey several years ago, and her and her husband Lloyd moved to Atlanta, and we saw her new series, and it's called Fragments, and it's these unbelievably gorgeous abstract paintings, and the detail and the pieces and the thought that goes into each painting was just mind-blowing for us. And so we learned some of her process, and we were just so blown away that her focus on this image, the end of the image, has everything to do with the change and the process of what it was into what it's becoming and what it is. We decided to call the record All Sons and Daughters, and there's a lot of reasons why. A lot of what we just talked about with it being feeling very natural and the next step in the process for us.
And this record was really the first time where it was even more than just our church being thrown into the mix of this.
Yeah.
It was our church. It was the churches that we've linked arms with across the country, and so it was so much more about literally all of those areas of that we get to be a part of, coming together and creating this one just beautiful piece.